Hello, welcome back. In this lesson, we are going to see more details about stored procedure. Please remember, each and every lesson of the stored procedures is going to take you into the deeper concepts of stored procedure. So in our previous example, we created a very simple stored procedure which simply pulls the data from books table. So now we are going to filter the books table by using the filter is going to be controlled with the input parameter. So I'll create a new procedure. So filter underscore books. So I'm going to filter the books table, and all these options are going to be the same. Okay, and here I will filter books table by controlling the where class. So I want to mention, so instead of select star, what I would like to use is select book ID, category and MRP, only these three columns from books table, and where category is equal to, I want to control this category. So for now I'll put some XXX, so we'll come to this later. So what my requirement is, I will give some parameter here, maybe one single letter, and based on that letter I need to decide which filter need to be applied here. So let's give some filter here in, and I'm going to use cat as a variable input parameter, and it's going to be varchar of 1. Okay, just one single parameter I'm going to use here, and which is going to decide. So for that I'll use if statement. So if my input parameter cat is equal to, for example, if I want to filter PDF, then I'll use P, then so here my input parameter is one single varchar. So now I need to choose if P, instead of writing this, I can write directly the statement. So if it is a P, then category is equal to, I can mention, I can hard code here PDF. But instead of running every time the select statement into the loop, so what I will do, I'll create a new table variable. So to declare a table variable, temporary table variable, so use declare, I'll use X, and data type is varchar of some 10. Okay, so now if it is a P, then my X, I'll assign X to X input variable, X table variable with the PDF text, PDF. So PDF is small letters, so that's why I use PDF. Okay, so that is one category. Then second, else if category is equal to E, then X is going to be assigned with ebook. So that is two cases. And finally with else X is going to assign with printed. So these are the three categories we have in our books table. And end if finally. So if you see the statements, so I'm declaring a variable that is X, and I'm assigning X variable with different categories based on the input value in the cat. So if you mention P in the category, then it's going to take PDF. If you mention E, then it's going to take ebook. And if you don't mention anything, or if you mention something else other than P and E, then it's going to take printed books. and finally end if, else if, else, end if. So we used all statements of if statement, and then I am writing a select statement, and here category I am going to use the parameter the table variable x. So whatever the value in x is going to work in where class. Okay, so instead of writing one single line here, I can write every time here. Instead of creating a temporary variable, I can put this statement here. So let me show what I mean. I can hard code here PDF. So like that I can use, but so this statement here I need to use here again here. So instead of using 3 times, I would like to make it simple. So that's why I use a temporary table variable x, and we'll see more details about these variables in next lesson. So for now, so this is a temporary table variable, and I am assigning category value to variable based on the input parameter. Okay, that's good. So now let's run this procedure. So this procedure created successfully, and we can refresh this. Filter books. To call this procedure, we need to pass the input parameter. Input parameter I'll pass p. Oh, sorry. That is a drop statement. So I'll pass here. So if I call this procedure, I got the result of book ID, category, MRP filtered with PDF. Okay, that looks good. And we'll try with E. Then I got ebooks. Okay, that looks good. And if I don't pass anything, then it's going to be printed books. Okay. So here by default the result is coming from the select statement. Even the output parameter I can control. So for example, let's take another parameter with out. So this is going to be out, and out I will say result, and I'll define a table book underscore ID, and you need to mention the data type varchar of 3, and then category varchar of 10, then MRP decimal 10,2. So here instead of simply using the output into a output here, so I am going to define a output type, output parameter. So and parameter name is result, and I am using table for the result of this statement, because it's going to give a result in table format, right? So that's why we need to mention keyword table and the table definition. Okay, so let's drop this procedure. And I am going to create this procedure again. Okay, incorrect syntax near where something is missing here. Okay, R is missing. Okay, one more, incorrect syntax near SQL script. It's missing one more bracket. Okay, hopefully this time some output table variable is not assigned. Okay, so here I defined a output variable and I need to assign this output variable here. So that means result is equal to select. So into the result variable, so previously I didn't define any variable for the output, so it automatically creates some temporary variable and it will assign the data into that temporary variable. But this time I am going to restrict that output variable with my user defined variable parameter. Okay, finally it's successful. So let's call this procedure, call procedure, and I'll use P for the PDF and output. When you have input and output parameters both, so we have input parameter and output parameter. So in that case, for output parameter you need to mention question mark so that it will understand we have two parameters and we want output parameter as a result. So same result, right? So there is no change. But here, instead of creating the temporary table variable for the output, we are using the output parameter here. That's the difference. So P, and if I use E, then output as ebook. Okay, for example, if I mention both as a question marks, system is going to create a new screen where you can give whatever the value you want. So I'll give P run, so I got the PDF, and if I give E, I can execute like it's just a user interface. It will create a user interface to give the parameters anytime you want. So if I make this like it is an empty value, then I'm going to get printed books. So that's how you can use parameters and temporary table variables in the procedure. So in category is input parameter, result is a output parameter, and this is a table type, and we define the table type here, and then I defined a X temporary table variable, and into the X, based on the input parameter category CAT, I am assigning that X value with respective category, and I use that variable temporary table variable in the select statement and in the where statement of this output. So that's how we used input parameters and table variables here. So we'll see in the next session more details about this table variable, how what are the ways to define a table variable, and what is the difference between the definition of those table variables. Okay, until then, happy learning. See you. Bye.